Hey guys, welcome to Invest Your Pattern Jackson. My name is Umo and I learned how to sew on YouTube. Yes guys, you heard me right. I learned how to sew on YouTube, and here are a couple of the items that I made for clients at home and abroad. I'm just pointing here. I think I'll share the pictures anyway. So here are a couple of the items that and today I decided to share a couple of the tips and principles that helped me in my journey to learning and perfecting my skill through YouTube and other means. Okay, so the first tip that I'll be talking about is believe in yourself. Guys, this sounds cliche, but this is so important, guys. Like, fear literally creates a block that hinders you from understanding whatever you're trying to learn. So first step is believe in yourself. One of the things that helped me believe in myself was I tried to look back on my life and things that I had learned with this same brain. So I'd gotten a degree with this brain. I learned to cook. I learned to do life with this brain. So really, why would sewing be different? So this was one of the kind of mindsets that helped me learn. Another thing that helped me was I developed a mantra. So what I usually say to myself is, every now and again, I have more understanding than my teachers. I have more understanding than my teachers. And literally now I can tell you that I literally have more understanding than the people that I watched from in the beginning. Okay, so the next step, guys, would be consistent. Like, this is so important. You can't start today and then the next time you're picking up your trying to learn again is probably in a month's time. Guys, you can't work that way. You have to be consistent. Develop a schedule. So for example, after your morning prayers, you can decide, oh, okay, I'm going to spare an hour to learn something. So you can actually write out a to-do list. So for example, you can say, okay, for this month of probably October, for the first week, I'm going to learn pencil skirts. Second week, I'll learn maybe A-line skirts. Third week, circle skirts. Fourth week, six-piece skirts. You can just, have a schedule like that. Do you understand? Because that would help you to actually be consistent. So my third tip, guys, would be start with cheap fabric and stretchy fabric. Guys, this is so important. If you are starting out and you're starting with some 35,000 naira lace fabric, guys, you will spoil the fabric and you will lose your morale, and you will just leave the whole thing alone. It will just destroy your morale. So guys, start with cheap fabric and start with stretchy fabric. When I mean stretchy fabric, I don't actually mean lycra. What I actually mean is like polished cotton, like stretchy crepe. You know how crepe stretches on just one grain, probably just horizontally here. So work with those kind of fabrics, because those kind of fabrics tend to hide fit issues. So you're not spending. So if you're starting with Ankara and you're struggling to fit a pencil skirt with Ankara, somehow after a while you probably get discouraged and you just drop the whole thing. But if it's crepe fabric that's stretchy, along one grain, sew with that, and always ensure that the stretch is horizontal, by the way, just saying. So work with those kind of fabrics, because you just draft your pattern, cut, and then with stretchy fabrics you don't have to line. So it just reduces the amount of time that you are spending per outfit. Do you understand? And then it just gives you the impression that you're learning fast, guys. That's just the trick. every now and again I say I love small victories. My apprentices laugh, my staff laugh when I say that, but I love small victories because when you just realize, oh, I made this pencil skirt, like it gives you ginger, guys. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? It gives you ginger to try something else, you know. So next thing, okay, you want to do a long skirt. Next thing, you want to do an A-line skirt. You want to do a circle skirt, you know, that kind of thing. So it just gives you ginger, guys. So my fourth tip would be start with simple styles, guys. It's not that you are trying to learn and then you're starting with maybe you're trying to make a jumpsuit. Like how now? Do you understand? You're starting today and then you're trying to make probably I don't know, probably a bumper jacket. Like how now, guys? You're just starting, you want to start doing belt pockets. By the way, I made this bumper jacket, guys, and if you want me to do a tutorial on how this is done, I could do a tutorial, and just drop that in the comment section, guys. So my fifth tip is, before I talk about my fifth tip, if you've not subscribed up until this point, guys, like seriously, what are you waiting for, guys? Subscribe. On to the fifth tip. Okay, so my fifth tip would be practice, guys. This is so important. Don't just assume that you've watched a YouTube video on how to draft a pencil skirt pattern and then you just assume that you know it. No, you've not learned something until you've actually tried it out. So guys, practice. Every time you learn, ensure that you take out time to practice. Every time you learn, ensure that you take out time to practice. It is so important. So my sixth tip would be develop your own techniques and stick to it. So as you're learning, you're also learning what works for you, you know, how you hold your tape rule, so as you're learning what works for you, you know, how you hold your own tape rule, what amount of seam allowance works for you, you know, don't just learn and then you're just taking in someone's method, hook, line, and sinker. Do you understand? Think about it, you know, after you've made your outfits, trying to see, okay, so where did I get this wrong? Okay, what can I do next time? Or what works for me? Does it work for me to use 1.5 inches allowance, seam allowance, or is it just a waist? Should I stick with just 1 inch, you know, and all that? So develop your own techniques and stick to it. One of the things that I would also say is, in learning online, try to stick to vloggers that use your own method or the method you're familiar with. So for example, if the method you're familiar with is probably Helen Armstrong, don't go and be watching someone that, and if you are big on pattern drafting, if you're actually learning pattern drafting, not freehand, stick with vloggers, YouTubers that are teaching pattern drafting and using Helen Armstrong's method. Do you understand? Don't go and be looking for trouble and be looking for people and be watching people that are using Natalie Bale's method, or, you know, some freehand method that you're not used to. Do you understand? Because you're just everywhere. Do you understand? You're not able to actually develop a technique that actually works for you. So stick with your own method, you know, develop your own techniques and stick to what works for you. So for example, you can actually stick with my own YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, guys, you should actually subscribe right now. Like seriously, pause and subscribe. So if you decide to work with my own method, you can, and it's going to really help you, because when you now decide that, oh, okay, you've learned a bit and you want to probably do a crash course for beginners, do you understand? You know which YouTuber to go to. Go to the person that is more in tune with your own method. Do you understand? So that's one of the things that I would say. Develop your own technique and stick to it. Stick to YouTubers or vloggers or teachers that teach with that technique that you're familiar with. If not, if you go to somewhere else and, you know, you're trying to learn from some other person whose method is different from yours, first off, you probably make mistakes because you're not used to their method. Second of all, it might be confusing for you and all that. So you are trying to learn, you know, with the easiest way possible. So just stick with one person or stick with your own method. Stick with what works for you. My seventh tip, guys, will be, if it's not broken, guys, do not fix it. So whatsoever you've learned and you've noticed that it works for you, guys, stick with that method. Don't now be like everywhere trying to So someone says, hold your tape rule this way. You know the way you have been holding your tape rule and it has been working for you. You now decide that, oh, you want to go and be holding your tape rule the way the other person holds their tape rule. You are going to start making mistakes. There will be a lot of inconsistencies. You will lose your morale. You know, you just get discouraged. So if it's not broken, don't fix it. Ensure that you're not sewing for only yourself, because it's easier to be a professional when it's sometimes it seems like you're a professional because you're sewing for just yourself. Do you get? But when you start to sew for other people, you realize that, wait though, do you understand? So in learning, you know, and all that, don't experiment with just yourself. You know, try to sew for your mom, your sister, probably your child, you know, and all that. That would help a lot. So my eighth tip would be, before you start any project, know exactly what you want to do, as in the details of the design, and decipher and write out the steps. It is so important, guys. So if you decide that you want to work on a bumper jacket, decide on what you want to do. How do you want the sleeves to be? Do you want the sleeves to also be Ankara, or you want it to be Jersey fabric like mine? Do you understand? Do you want a hoodie? What do you want? Do you understand? It's not that, oh, it's after you've gone halfway, after you fix the neck, you now decide, oh, okay, I want a hoodie, then you now start loosening. You're going to discourage yourself because you spend so much time on that project that it might become discouraging for you. So decide exactly what you want to do. You want a pencil skirt. This is what you want. Okay, you want to combine probably Ankara with maybe lycra or something, or polished cotton or something. Decide on the design. Then after that, write out your steps. You're not yet a professional, so it's not something that you can do by rote memory. Do you understand? So you have to write out your steps so that you're not going back and forth. Okay, if you know that you want to cut lining, you want to line this particular skirt, write it out, cut draft pattern, cut main fabric, cut lining, fix the darts, fix the band, you know, fix the zip. Just write out your processes so that you are not going back and forth. Yeah, I forgot something, you're now losing again. Yeah, I forgot this one again, you're losing again. Do you understand? So write out your steps very well. My 9th tip, guys, would be always work with your tape measure. Like, I see a lot of people working. Some people come to actually work for me. Some people have come to work for me and they're working without tape rules. And I'm just wondering, like, how do you know what you're measuring? They said they can see it. No, you can't work for me like that. I'm telling me you can see. No, it can't work. You have to work with a tape rule. Do you understand? And in working with any tape rule, ensure that you stick to one tape rule. So the same tape rule that you use to take the measurement should be the same tape rule that you use to draft the pattern, and the same tape rule that you use to draw out the measurement. Also ensure that as you work, you iron, guys. Don't wait till you're done with it out. Even if you're sewing for yourself, like, just get used to producing really neat outfits. Do you understand? Sometimes the difference between a job that looks tacky and a job that looks professional is just the ironing. Do you understand? So take out time to iron, you know, iron out every stage. You've sewn a pocket, you've attached a pocket somewhere, iron, you've done this, iron. Do you understand? Just iron, iron, iron. So my last tip, guys, would be invest in courses and books. Invest in online courses, or courses and short courses, online courses, as well as invest in books. So I assume that one of the reasons why people opt for online learning or the online option is one of the reasons why some people opt for the online option is because they can't afford the seemingly expensive, I don't want to say exorbitant, because I don't actually think that they are exorbitant, but the seemingly expensive school fees for fashion schools. So one of the things that I'll say is, since you are learning via YouTube, I would honestly tell you, if I could go back in time and I could do things differently, one of the things that I would do differently is I would invest a lot more in I would have invested a lot more in short courses and online courses, like, like crash courses, because you actually need every now and again, because even as a professional, you need to still every now and again, go back and see, okay, what's new, what haven't I learned, what better methods are there. Do you understand? So invest in short courses, invest in online courses, invest in books. So I would share a few of the books that have helped me. This is Winifred Aldrich, Metric Pattern Cutting for Children's Wear and Babies Wear. I don't use this often, but it has really been helpful for children's wear. So if I make an outfit for a client and they request for maybe a version of that for their child, maybe their daughter, and I probably have never met the child, I don't know this. She has, Winifred Aldrich has this really good measurement chart for children. It's actually in centimeters. So all you have to do is convert it. Can you even see mine? Like, I've written on it and all that, so you guys see. So really, really accurate measurement charts, very helpful. And it has also helped me with children's wear. Like, it's just and it's easy to use. So I absolutely love it. I've used this. I'll say essentially this is just like a home economics practical book, but not really. I don't think it was. These books were actually expensive, by the way. So I don't think it was actually worth the buy, but there's no harm in, because it's essentially maybe how to hem, how to iron. It's just, do you understand? Just like really basic things that I probably already knew. Then my go-to book. Can you see, guys? I even wrapped it. Can you see? So this is Helen Armstrong. I said, like, this book is, I feel like this should be a Bible for every dressmaker. So it's really important. So invest in books and courses, then invest in online courses. By the way, let me talk to you about our online course, guys. So we have online courses for beginners, then we have for intermediate, and then we also have advanced level. Our advanced level is our bridal course, and all of. So our advanced course, our bridal, we have a course on bridal attire, wedding dresses, and all that. Some of them are online, but we actually do hold crash courses that are physical courses. So for example, we have like weekend courses. So if we're doing, so for example, for our beginners course, we have a crash course, which is usually spans for how many days? I think 5 days or so. So if you need details of any of these courses, beginners course, advanced courses, intermediate courses, you can send a message to the number on the screen, guys, and I would get back to you. Actually, we would actually get back to you. So just send a message, to find out more about our crash courses. So guys, that would be all. I would have also loved to share my story of how I learned, what really happened and all, but if you're interested in that story, you can drop a message in the comment section and I would respond to your message and also do the video. So thank you guys for watching. This was actually fun to do. I would like to do a lot more videos where I show my face. So this was fun to do. If you haven't subscribed at this point, it's like, seriously, why now? So please subscribe, ensure that you share this video to help other people who are trying to learn online. So this serves as like a guide for them, guys. Do you understand? So thanks for watching.